Our enemies seek to stop you from reaching Anri and Manarina. You must succeed. Hello everybody, Balzac here once again. Welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force. Here we are, finally back into another battle, and as always, it's time to check our map. This is the enemy placements for this map on our way to Manarina. Now these are actually not Runefaust soldiers. These are actually guardians of the city of Manarina, so we have to fight our way to get into the town. The only new enemy that you're going to see here are the zombies, and they're probably the most difficult part. This is why you really need Teo to be as high level as possible, have as much magic as possible, and if at all possible, to have Lowe to basically be able to cure poison. I forget what the name of the spell is right now. I think it's not Dispel, it's not, I think it's, anyway, I have on me, for Lowe an antidote, which I forgot, how to use, and there are some things that, we could use here. Don't worry about having your soldiers' information, just get to that bridge as quickly as possible, because right here you have a, bottleneck area, and the dwarves will not move past that bottleneck. So just get your soldiers there as quickly as possible. That way you can proceed as fast as you possibly can. Now this is actually the first time since I began the project that I've actually recorded this project. The previous video I actually already had recorded. So this is the first time I've actually recorded this since December. So that's what we're working on now, and there's a lot of things that's changed. I was trying to be able to record from my Wii again, but things just weren't working out. So I'm actually using an emulator, the Gens Plus emulator. I originally wanted to use my copy from Sega Smash Pack 2. Unfortunately, that didn't work out so well. The thing is that Sega Smash Pack 2 does not play nicely with recording equipment, and what it will do, it will invert the collars. So that really sucks. So I would have loved to record this using legal versions. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and it had been over a year since the last episode of this, and I felt it was time to bite the bullet and actually continue the project. So if you notice levels and everything are off, that's why. So first things first is when you get to the bridge, is you really want to get rid of the dwarves blocking the way and get yourself out of this bottleneck as quickly as possible. The way to do this is long range. Teo or Hans will do well. You try a short range person, but realize he's going to be bombarded by two Dark Dwarves. I try to avoid that as best as I possibly can. Another thing is you will want to have Teo reserve her MP for as long as possible, because the zombies are weak to fire, and they're going to be your primary problems in this battle. They're going to be your primary obstacles. So I probably didn't need to reserve magic as much as I did in this battle, but what can you say? So right here, like I said, we are trying to get one of our long-range fighters into place. As soon as they can clear out, space, we can rush in and we can take care of it. So I'm going to have Teo come in and actually take care of the Dark Dwarf on top with Blaze, level 1. The reason why is there's more of a path that I can take using the top path than I could from the side. So not much to this. As soon as we start moving around, the bats should start to move down, and we'll have our first major conflict down here at the bottom before we move up. But not much to it. Now, if I could only remember the names of spells and stuff, it's been such a long time. And unfortunately, instead of playing this, I'm flying by the seat of my pants again. And I decided to move my main character up, Mainly because I knew I'd be killing this Dark Dwarf, and I didn't want to really waste the magic and waste the turns, and I really want to finish this battle as quickly as I possibly could. And doing this is I'm getting fighters out as quickly as possible, trying to make sure the way is open, trying to defuse this battle before it gets too long and too out of hand and we get trapped back in the bottleneck again, which is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Because it doesn't really hurt you, but it prolongs the battle way too long. So there's that. This project has taken some time, and I would like to, when we get to a certain spot, talk about it some more. What I'm doing here with Ken is I don't want to get him bombarded by two enemies on either one side, so I'm going to plant him in between May and my main character. Mainly that way, what he does is he's keeping the path open. And now he's going to be fighting the Dark Dwarf. Now, something, and this is an old habit that I picked up from my sister when we first started playing the game. Whenever we get into a battle, we will mash the A button, whether we're in defense or in attack. This does absolutely nothing, but it makes us feel better, and we would actually tell ourselves that we were giving our characters a chance to counterattack or to dodge. Like I said, in the end, it actually does absolutely nothing, but it makes us feel better, and it's a habit that I get into doing even to this day. So, anyway, what we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to, now that we have the way open, we're going to take care of these Dark Dwarves, we're going to take care of these bats, and we are going to work our way up to Manarina. I'm trying to think of changes between things that happened in enemy composition. I remember when I was preparing, I actually didn't realize that the speed ring was that I had gotten a speed ring in Rindo and had not given it to anyone nor equipped it. I will be doing that actually in Manarina. I did not want to do that outside battle and then tell you I've done it. I'd rather you see it for yourself. Now, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be reserving Teo's magic as much as possible. I probably could have used it some more, but, you know, live and learn. So all the giant bats are actually going to be moving out of the desert, which is good. So now we can just focus on taking care of all these enemies before we move up. What is that the name of the poison cure spell? I should know it. Detox is the name of it. I wish Lowe had Detox. I hardly ever have Lowe to the right level where he should have Detox. But it's just because it's so hard to actually level the healers. I guess you could try to power level them in some way, but it just doesn't work out for me. It does not work with my playstyle. So, where it would be nice for Lowe to actually be, I think it's level 4 and have Detox. Unfortunately, he just is not able to get to it most of the time. So, you want to make sure you have antidotes on you. And I might as well explain. I think I want to wait and say why a little bit more and go over that strategy when we get to it. Right here, I'm just going to be keeping my healers in the back behind the bridge while I move everybody else up to take on the bats. Bats are not going to be very difficult. They really don't do much damage at this point. The only thing is they can be annoying because they can put you to sleep. So I'm just moving all my characters forward. This is not a very difficult battle. We're still in the early stages of the game. I just wish I probably should from now on in battles kind of view the battle first and write down my thoughts, because this is going to be typical battle length. Battles from here on out will be at least half an hour long, and you probably won't like me rambling like I am now, because I have no clue what to talk about. Right here, what I'm doing with Teo is I'm actually moving her behind a little bit, because I do not want to use any more magic than I have to, because I want to reserve them for the zombies up ahead, because I know I will need them. Now here, I'm being put to sleep, and I'm going to be staying asleep for quite a while. It's actually going to hinder my progress quite a bit, and it could have made all the difference that this video could have been less than half an hour. This battle could have taken less than half an hour if my character didn't sleep as long, because we would have ventured into the desert quicker than we actually did. But really, all in all, I guess you can't complain too much. Now, it's pretty much just a matter of taking care of this last bat. That's about it. I actually, when I was kind of preparing to get to this place, I had to play back to the game, and I was zooming through it in record time because I was trying to get through towns and battles as quickly as I possibly could. And I think I did better in some regards in the battles. I didn't lose anybody, so that was great. Actually, no, I lost one person. That wasn't too bad. So, like I said, my character's going to be asleep for a little while. So, what I'm going to be doing in the next few turns is I'm going to be slowly regrouping, getting all my characters ready to actually proceed into the desert. In reality, there's another strategy that you can use, and I've used it before. If you look on the left side of that mountain range where we're forming, you can actually go around and head up that way. There are no enemies up there at all. I have actually split up my troops before, having one set go up to fight and the other set going around to ambush the zombies. It really doesn't work out as well because when you go into the desert to take care of the Dark Mage and the 2 archers, the lesser numbers do not work to your advantage at all. And sometimes your smaller group can get absolutely massacred. Other times they do okay. But I found out that more often than not, it actually hurts you rather than helps you. So it is in your best interest, in my opinion, to actually keep your group together if at all possible. And what happens if you're going to try to go around is you're going to have to deal with those other enemies in the desert, and they could compound to your problems. So you want to go up and take care of the Dark Mage and the 2 archers as quickly as you possibly can. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting right on the edge of the desert before proceeding in. Because the thing about the desert is, if you remember those hilly mountainous areas in previous battles, how we go slow down, the desert sands are really going to slow you down. You're not going to be able to move as quickly as you'd like. Another reason why this battle takes a long time. Another thing is, when you start to get into the desert, you want to start to stagger your troops, mainly because of the Dark Mage. You don't want to give the Dark Mage any room to hit multiple members, if at all possible. If you can, you want to limit the damage to 1 member. That way, what happens is, because the Dark Mage does not really ration the magic. Its magic. Instead of using lower spells against low members, they'll use the higher spells that are kind of meant to hit multiple members against low members. So they will really run through their MP rather quickly, which is what you want them to do. You'd rather not get hit at all, but the problem is, with this desert, you're going to get hit. You just want to limit the amount of damage. And I'm putting Teo way off to the side. Now, in the end, this is going to cause a little bit of a problem because it's going to take forever to work her back up. But, again, I do not want to really be using her abilities at this stage of the game, because I want to reserve them for later on in the battle. And number 2, I want to keep her out of harm's way. So now we're working our way into the desert. It's going to take a while for my main character to get up there because he just woke up. So we're working our way slowly up, and of course we're going to get struck first because of our limited movement. Really nothing you can do about it. Best thing to do is just try to keep your members alive for as long as possible. And then, if you can, you want to attack the Dark Mage first. Unfortunately, that's really not going to be plausible, but just do what you can. If archers actually enter into range first, attack the archers, like I'm doing here. I think it's really interesting how some characters actually have better movement range than other characters in these bogged down areas. Some characters you think should be moving faster don't. And it's really a shame sometimes. And I think the main thing we're going to be doing is I want to get Luke out of the way. I consider putting Luke right by Gong there to maybe draw the archer's fire, but I figured, no, you want him protected. I want to get him healed, and that's what I was going to focus on. So I'm going to have Hans attack the sniper. It's not the best thing to do, but at least get some damage in, and Hans is doing a good bit of damage, because I'm actually preparing Hans for in-game. May is I'm going to continue taking out the snipers, and because unfortunately, like I said, I can't reach the Dark Mage yet. You just have to do what you can do in this regard. Maybe here's something I can open up for you guys, because chances are I will run out of stuff to say in these battles, and I'll try to have to write stuff down to kind of remember what to say to prepare for them better. But maybe some things in the comment and some stuff, as you guys can suggest things you want me to talk about or hear about. This I have kind of put this on hiatus a little bit. Maybe I should talk about the things Sega's done. In the meantime, while this was on hiatus, if you guys remember, Sega actually was taking down Shining Force videos. This is not going to keep me from playing at all. In fact, I'm going to continue making these videos because I do not like starting a project and then not finishing it. If something happens with Sega, then so be it. Sega really didn't win any brownie points for me. I liked Sega as a company. In fact, you could say I was almost a Sega fanboy. I have very, very fond memories of the Sega Genesis growing up. Mostly the Sonic the Hedgehog games. And this game is the one that turned me on to playing RPGs. And the fact that they would turn against their fans like that. And I actually know the actual reason that caused that. The actual reason is... the actual thing that's happening is that... one of the current producers of the new Shining series, the reboot Shining series, that has nothing to do with Camelot, who made the Shining Force games, is they want releases. They want Shining Force 3 to be released, and the fans over in America love the old Shining games, whereas the fans in Japan like the new ones. And the fans in Japan, the Shining fans in America have a hard time going to Japanese fan boards, because people think because they love these old games so much that they are absolutely disrespectful to the current franchise, and they are against the franchise, and they are not fans at all. They're actually as the producer called them, trolls. When all they're doing is they were asking for for an American release of Shining Force 3, which has never gotten a full release at all. And when they were asking, and they were asking respectfully, they had a movement at all. The producer actually did call the Shining Force Central board. The Shining Force Central, anyway, basically the main Shining board, a bunch of trolls. And when the head of that board tried to apologize, that producer would not listen to anything they said. In fact, anybody who would ask him about it on Twitter, he would block them on his Twitter. So chances are, and what I've been led to believe, and what I actually believe, is that he was the one behind the attacks. It does not make sense for Sega to remove all these Shining Force videos, especially since a lot of them are just people speaking to a screen. They're not actually gameplay videos. To actually move the trailer for their new Shining game higher up on the YouTube list, it doesn't make any sense. This is actually a blatant attack against the fans. And so I did not have a lot of respect for Sega for that. Sega really disappointed me with that. But you know what? This is my game. This is my favorite game. This is my favorite RPG. This is the game that got me into RPGs, that made me an RPG fanatic. And above all, I wanted to do this RPG for this channel. I wanted to play one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm going to continue to do so. Does this mean I won't do any other Shining Force games? I have no idea. They are quite a bit to do, especially since I can understand people not wanting to watch the battle videos, because they can be a tad boring. I'm trying to figure out ways to fix that, as you can see. So it's one of those things about you go, do I fly by the seat of my pants while I'm doing this? Do I pre-plan it? What do I do? And I guess that's something I just have to figure out. Now, here's what we're doing now. Now that we have killed the mages, and now that we have killed the archers, is now I'm lining up to get information to take on the zombies and the last 2 dark mages. Here's the thing. The dark mages are going to be troublesome because you can't get close enough to take on the zombies. But the zombies are difficult in and of themselves. I guess it just depends on your level and your HP. The zombies can hit hard. For some of the people you're going to see here, they're not going to hit very hard, which I'm glad of. But if you're not prepared and you're not at high enough level, a zombie can take you down to half health. And if you're not prepared, they can one-hit KO you. As you saw earlier, my main character was not at a level I would normally heal him at as far as health, but I wanted to get everybody as close to full health as possible before I took on the zombies, because I know how devastating the zombies' blows can be. Another thing is the zombies have a chance of poisoning you, which means at the end of every one of your turns, or every one of that character's turns that's poisoned, they will lose 2 HP. This is why Lowe needs to know detox. If he does not have detox, you need to have antidotes. Plain and simple. And if it wasn't, it's not just that. You have to worry about dark mages as well. So you're kind of trying to lure the zombies to you as well. And here I'm getting everybody into formation. Now the thing is, since the zombies and the dark mages are kind of getting, well, first of all, let me just say this. Zombies and creatures like zombies, any undead creatures, they're actually a tad bit weaker to Blaze. Now, looking back over it and examining it, they're not as weak as I initially thought. It may do 1 or 2 extra damage, but it's extra damage nonetheless. And what's even better is that these zombies are lining up with these dark mages, and they're always going to be in some sort of formation like this. So it's really easy to get Teo in line to cast Blaze Level 2 and hit multiple zombies at the same time. And if you're really good, you might be able to hit a Dark Mage as well. So that's why it's in your best interest to try to reserve some MP for Teo. So right now we're taking care of the zombies, and this will be an interesting thing. You want to keep your people well healed, and you want to take care of the zombies. Now, another thing, if this battle gets too difficult for you, there is a secondary win condition. You do not have to defeat all the enemies in order to win. It's good for experience, but if these zombies and dark mages at the end are proving too much for you, have your main character try to get to walk around them as quickly as possible and get into the city. If you can get into the city, you will automatically win. Now, I'm going to try to kill all the zombies, which I am able to do. Now, unfortunately, like I said, Teo was too far back for her to be of any use right away. I wish she could have been of more use. That would have been awesome. But you live and you learn. So right now is I'm just trying to get my characters in position, trying to do the best I can. Some characters like Gort are going to be okay with the zombies attack right now. They have the defense for it. Unfortunately, like I said, that you have the problem with the dark mages who can weaken you, and the zombies can kill you, or the zombies can weaken you, and the dark mages can kill you. It's a very, very lethal combination for this part of the game. So this section of the game can be very, very difficult for somebody who does not know what they're doing, and sometimes it can be difficult for people who do know what they're doing. You have to walk into this knowing that this battle can be difficult. You might get one hit KO'd like this. It is very easy to get to KO'd, and at this point, I need to get my main character out as quickly as possible. So I'm trying to take care of the zombies on all fronts. I almost think that this is too difficult of a fight for this early on. It's really easy to get killed in this fight. It's almost easier to try to make your way into Manarina than it is to kill all the enemies. And here I'm trying to decide what to do with Luke, because I don't think I can get him down there to the healers quick enough. And if I do, I'm setting him up to be a target. So I figured it's best to move him out of the way and have him use a healing item. So I'm going to have Gort move and take care of this zombie here. I didn't want him to get in range of the Dark Mage at all, and I kind of want to get things kind of tidied up here. So, if I believe correctly, if I remember correctly, the only healer that has actual magic left is Lowe. Unfortunately, Lowe's out of it because you don't want to keep your healers out. Now, since Khris didn't have any magic left, I didn't really feel bad about moving Khris in potentially harm's way to heal my main character with a healing seed. Because if Khris gets killed, it's a good sacrifice because I got my main character healed, and Khris would be nothing but a distraction after this anyway. And in fact, Khris is going to be dying right here. So while it sucks that Khris is going to get killed, and if not, Khris is not going to get healed by this, but by something else. While that sucks, that allowed my main character time to get to a healer and kept him alive. So this is good because now the Dark Mages are all in one spot. The bad part is the Dark Mages are all in one spot, and my guys are kind of grouped together at this point. But if we can get around them, you can kill the Dark Mages, and then you just have to deal with the zombies, which aren't as big a problem once you kind of start isolating them. But you will feel a little nervous, and here goes Khris. Khris served her purpose. It was a good sacrifice. It was a good move. And what's nice is the zombies actually kind of line themselves up here, because as you can see, who's right there? Teo. Unfortunately, Hans is not going to only get put almost to death, but he's also going to be poisoned. Sucks to be Han. Good news is he's near some healers. Now, I'm going to move Gort. It's time to actually start taking care of these Dark Mages. I know by that I moved close to May that I'm setting myself up for the other Dark Mage, but the thing is, if I can kill these Dark Mages now, I don't have to worry about it. Here I can move Luke down here to start working on this Dark Mage. And that's the key is you want to try to line the creatures up so Teo can take care of them, and then you want to kill the Dark Mages as quickly as possible. See, here the zombies actually line themselves up really nicely, so Teo can use Blaze Lv.2. Unfortunately, there's no other zombies really close together anymore, so while she can use one more Blaze Lv.2, she's mainly going to be using. She can use 2 Blaze Level 1s, which is probably what she's going to be doing. And it's kind of sad that that I conserved her magic power, and I really only need to just hold back 1 Blaze Level 1 or Blaze Level 2, but live and learn. Now I consider moving Hans back to where Gong was, but I felt that he was good where he was to protect my main character. Plus, he could just stand here and kill the zombie. I was really crossing my fingers and hoping to be lucky because I knew Hans would not die from the poison. He'd come close, but he wouldn't die. I was really hoping that I could keep Hans alive, and that would, I could use him to help finish the battle. Unfortunately, as we're about to find out, that really is not going to be happening. Now, I'm going to be using Blaze Level 1 on this zombie, because it has just enough to take out the zombie. And with that, we don't have to worry about the zombies anymore, we just have to worry about the Dark Mages. Unfortunately, Dark Mages have Blaze Level 2 as well. And unfortunately, they want us dead, so that spells in the Hans. Was it a bad move on my part? No, because that got rid of one of the zombies. It's an unfortunate move, but hey, it happens. At least this isn't a game like Fire Emblem, where I lose them permanently. Here I am moving back behind Lowe, because I know he can heal me some more, and the Dark Mages will not be getting to me like that. I'm keeping Gong where he is. I consider moving him over to heal my main character, but I decided against it in the end. I wanted to move him closer and kind of distract the Dark Mages. But I'm going to be taking them out right now anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So I think, who is it that's going to be taking care of the Dark Mage? I think it's going to be Luke. what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Where am I going to move Gort? Am I going to move him anywhere? Yeah, I'm going to kind of block the whole point right here is to block the Dark Mage so the Dark Mage can't get to my main character. And then I'm going to have Luke finish the Dark Mage off. And that's the end of the battle. Congratulations. So now all we have to do is welcome to Manarina, and that will be it. Balzac, now enter Manarina. We must inform Andre about Guardiana. Next time, guys, we head to Manarina. Until then, I am Balzac, signing out.